cherish us and who understands the principles of the management of diversity. Now, we will not be nervous, and we really should not be nervous about the future. Not only because it is in the hands of God, but I think that the greatest value, and I hope that this lecture that has been delivered by Uhuru Kenyatta, although unfortunately, sir, you've been in Nigeria twice, but we're not yet Uhuru. We are aspiring. We're not yet Uhuru yet. But I hope that it provides the incoming government with the texture, the material that it requires, because how to build a good society is not a complicated thing. It is not a complicated thing. And the principles and the question, because one of the things that SGF said to me was also the fact that we'll be talking about the fact that as Nigerians, we are better together. Everybody knows that we are better together. But the first question to ask is, who are we? After 9/11, the American political scientists were asking the question, who are we? Because there was a problem in terms of who people are. And I think if you live in Nigeria, all of us know. And this is why those who listen to me will attest to the fact that I don't like to talk about religion, in part because I don't believe there is a religious problem. But somehow the Western media, the Nigerian media, and the political elite have assumed the fact that there is something between religions and that there is a conflict between religions. There is absolutely no conflict between religions. I said to people, assuming, for example, we all have knives in our houses. Assuming you come back from work and your wife is in the kitchen and she comes to welcome you with a knife in her back with which she's been slicing onions. You will have no problem entering the house. But if you had a fight with your wife before you left the house and your husband comes back and knocks on the door and you see your wife with a knife, you will pull back. So knives by themselves are not a problem. It's what you do with them. In the same way that, identities are not a problem. Identities are not a problem. It's how you activate those identities and what you do with them. Now, will I be walking around Nigeria and people say to me, we worry about you being in Sokoto, and when I speak, I can tell a million stories. And I give you an example. What happened in Sokoto? With the tragic story of Deborah. I had gone for a burial of the father of one of my priests, and I was on my way back in a car when I got a call to say that one of my priests called me to say, look, this is what is happening. And I got to Abuja, and I got telephone calls from everywhere. Where are you? I said, I'm in Abuja. He said, I hope you remain in Abuja. I hope you're not going back to Sokoto anytime soon. My family members who called me, I said, so what am I supposed to do? No, remain in Abuja. Some people say, leave the country. And I said, to go where? And people could not understand. When I had to go back to Sokoto the next day, people said to me, I had to just tell my friend, where are you? I told them I'm in Abuja. But when I got to Sokoto, I walked to my house. And for me, it's a very powerful image. As I entered my house, just as I got to the gate, I saw an armored tank, soldiers, their numbers, guarding my house. And I was touched. I came out of the vehicle and I greeted all the soldiers. I shook all of them. But I saw from their faces, they looked to me very much like Fulani people. The soldiers who were guarding my house. By their height and so on. So when I went in, then later in the evening, I came back and I started talking to them. There were about 12 or 14 of them. First of all, I looked at them with all their equipment, they're there in my house. After we greeted, I went back. At about 6:30 to 7, I came out, stood by my balcony. And I saw all of them done their ablution. They are preparing for their salah. And they prayed in my house. I'm looking at them. And this is Sokoto I'm supposed to be running away from. And here are these people, they are Muslims, they are Nigerians, they are here to protect me. Nigeria is a complex country of great possibilities, great contradictions, about which we will not be in this crisis. Managing diversity is a science. The World Bank knows this. My brother, Dr. Akunyumi, is here. He's going to talk about all this. They understand, and no country, no business, no family, no organization has a future if you don't figure out how to manage diversity. I want to conclude by saying religion has been turned into a weapon. And it's a weapon of choice for politics and politicians. The danger and the challenge for us as religious leaders, because the Conservative Party in England, because the British government was a theocratic state, so to say, and the Conservative Party was literally part of the Anglican Church. And the joke used to be that the Anglican Church is the Conservative Party at prayer. The danger with being captured by politicians is that religious leaders, and I tell people, when people talk about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Atiku, Peter Obi, and all of these people, I work with the vice president-elect. I served for 6 years or so in Atiku's university. Peter Obi is my very close friend of very many years. And I'm a Nigerian, and I can work with anybody. And we must get to that point in which we have enough trust in ourselves. So religion in Nigeria, the section 10 of the Constitution talks about the fact that the state should not adopt religion as a state religion. But we know that the reality is completely different. So the challenge for us going forward is to address the issue. What is the meeting point between religion and politics? For us as Christians and as Muslims, we must understand we are first of all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who just happen to be Christians or Muslims. We could be anything else. And our inability to appreciate those differences also is directly related to the way the political class has continued to treat us. Let me put it that way. Because if you are not able to manage diversity well, people have gotten out their pens and their pencils. When you call out ministers, everybody is looking at who is from my village, who is from my town. Because, no thanks, we have come to associate opportunity, privilege with having your own person in power. It's not the way to go, but the reality has led us otherwise. So I want to say that, first of all, Nigeria must heal. Nigeria must heal. But we also must have the courage to identify the scars, the wounds, the injuries. The worst thing that can happen to us is to pretend that everything is okay, because everything is not okay. We have so many of our citizens who have lost their lives. We have so many of our citizens who are still in captivity. Managing diversity and managing differences is not about religious leaders talking together. It is about whether the state can create the kind of infrastructure, the guardrails, that can help Nigerians move as citizens of their country. But right now, there is how people feel because they are Christians or Muslims. There is how people feel because they are women. The levels and categories of exclusion are so tremendous and so immense. So I hope that going forward, the things that the guest speaker has spoken about most eloquently, that is, how do you manage victory? How do you manage victory? How do you mutate from being a politician who was contesting election to being a politician who has won election? Very often, and what is clear to us in Africa, why religion, why ethnicity, why all these things continue to injure our countries, is largely because we have not come to terms with the fact that power is just about, as somebody said, our turn to eat. Michaela Wrong's book, I know Michaela pretty well. She autographed a copy of her book. But her arguments were most eloquent because her arguments were largely, if the Kalenjin did very well under Arab Moi, and if your dad and Mwai Kibaki and other people who are, if they've done well, it was almost natural that the man contesting for election against you would say, it is our own turn to eat. And we can see what power has been. Therefore, it is our turn to continue with the things that other people have done, privilege their community, privilege their... So we cannot grow a country like this. We will remain volatile. And as you see on a racetrack, everybody stands or kneels differently. There is no advantage. The location may be different. But when the gun is fired, the man who is right closer to the inner part of the ring is a little bit away. We don't expect that all of us will finish, but let us create an environment in which all of us can compete. And we will win according to our energy and our speed. I used to have a parishioner, and she came to me and she was complaining. You know, when the WAEC, that is the local school examination, when they are over, most people will come to you and they say, my son passed WAEC. But if they don't pass, they say, Wayek failed my son. So the challenge for us in Nigeria is to create a condition, a situation where all of us can compete. We will never win the same prize. But let there be, as His Eminence the Sultan said, let loss of elections not be a punitive, because the problem with Africa, when you lose the elections, you don't get a chance to get back in. When you lose the elections, you can tell, you can lose your life. But it also means that there will be no road to your village, that there will be no.
The man speak a real reality to the people in power and to those one that is coming to power. He let them understand that if you think everything in Nigeria is rosy rosy, it's just a lie. We all knows everything is not looking good. The stage the Nigeria is now, things are not looking good. But so fortunate that some supporters of this new administrative or the outgoing administrative, they will come online, they will come on internet and lie, propaganda, like everything is looking good. They will say different kind of things just to protect this administrative, the outgoing. They will make it sound like everything looking good in Nigeria. The people in power, the elderless people, they knows. The people that are close to the corridor of power, they know what is going on. This man, Matthew Kuka, is very close to the people in power. He know the truth. Because he's a man of God, he can't hide his feelings. He can't hide the truth. He has to speak. Some people, because of what their benefits, they can't tell the truth. They can't speak the truth. If they know they can't talk, they will go and hide somewhere and just like, look, I don't want to speak about it. I don't want them to see me talking about it. I don't want the state people, the state government come after me. They will go and hide somewhere. I can't blame them because the people in power will use the state power to come after you if you speak the truth. In my opinion, everything is not looking good. These people know. This man just spoke it to them in their face. The ex-president is there. The vice president elect is there. Some of the presidential aspirant is there. So it's me. Those are the people very close to the power corridor are there. So he speak clearly to them to let them know everything is not looking good. But the funny part of it is some group of people will come online and talk about it like everything's looking good because they got paid for that. So, in my opinion, they just doing their own jobs, what they got paid for. When you get paid for something, you have to do the jobs. That's why in the last election, some bunch of bloggers will come online, they will propagate a lot of things. Divide and rule. They first come with the divide and rules. Propaganda. Divide and rule. After the divide and rule, after the election is over, now they want to turn around and say, okay, let's forget about what happened. Let's come together. Is that how easy it is? Just come together just like that. You don't think about it when you are propagate a lot of nonsense, propaganda. Now suddenly you be like, okay, let's forget about it and become a friend. It doesn't work that way. They have some people, aspirants, go to court. If you don't like the outcome of election, these people say, okay, if you want me to go to court, we go to court. Even though there's nothing good is going to come out of that court, they knows that. They knows they own the court, in my opinion. That's why they ask them to go to court. Okay, those guys say, okay, if you own the court, we know you own the court. Well, we're gonna go there. We know we're not gonna get the justice from the court, but we can expose the court. We can let the whole world see what the court has done. We can let the Nigerian workers, people that is in Nigerian LLC, see what is their own judicial department is done. We know we're not going to get any positive out of it, but let us go there. Let us go and showcase our case. Even though if we're not going to get a positive judgment, people in this Nigerian LLC can make their own judgment. Like, oh, okay, now we know how it works. We all know how the Judiciathief is. But at the same time, they still come out with the propaganda. Oh, why did they go to court? What are they looking for? You ask them to go to court. The same court that's not going to produce anything good, but they still go there to go waste their money. Because in my own opinion, going to court in Nigerian LLC is just wasting of your money. Nothing good is going to come out of it. A lot of people always said they still believe in Nigeria LLC, especially Nigeria LLC democracy. I said, there's no democracy in Nigeria. Nigeria is not a nation. It's just a company owned by the group of people called the shareholder. If you are fortunate to buy a share in Nigerian LLC, you will catch out a big check. Some bloggers was able to buy a little bit of share, probably less than 1% share, and they cash out. Some people will join and buy the share in Nigerian LLC, and they will cash out with a big check. Some have been there, the big shareholder have been there for long. Buy the share in Nigerian LLC, and every end of the year, they cash out. Some governors will come in 4 years, buy the share, 4 years share, and they cash out. Some is 8 years. When they go in, they cash out. When you buy share in Nigerian LLC, trust me, you're going to become a millionaire. Only in Nigeria, somebody become a politician and overnight become a millionaire. Some have become a billionaire overnight, only in Nigeria. It means in Nigerian LLC, if you are fortunate to buy a big share, depend on what part of share you bought. You buy a good share, you get a big money. If you become a chairman of the local government, those are the small share. You become a millionaire. Councillor, you got money. House of Rep, you become. Senator, you got the senator share, you become. If you're fortunate to buy the governorship share, you catch out bigly. That is how it works in Nigerian LLC. Once you buy a share, you will become rich overnight. That's why everybody wants to die on it. It's become a do or die. Like, I must buy my own share. I don't care what's going to happen. Before we go today, like I said, a new chapter is going to start tomorrow. Nigeria is going to open a new chapter, either good or bad. And we only pray to God to make us benefit from that government. Make the government new chairman of the shareholder of the Nigerian LLC, whatever the policy they come out with for the workers inside that company, may we not be the victims of that policy. We can only pray, like, God, don't let us be the victim of this whenever policy this new board of trustees of this Nigerian LLC is coming out with. God, let that policy favor us. We can only pray that. And we pray to the new president-elect for that board of trustees of the Nigerian LLC. May God give him strength and power. May God help him to know how to rule, how to manage this Nigerian LLC company. May God guide him. We can only pray for him, regardless of the people in court or not. He's still the driver of the nation now. So he's still gonna be the one drive this company forward from tomorrow on. Whatever is gonna happen, nobody knows. How good driver is gonna be, nobody knows. But we shall see how best driver, good driver he might be to drive this car forward. We will all see. But we pray for him. May God give him strength to be able to handle this long truck, to be able to drive this Nigerian LLC forward. Because there's a lot of workers inside this factory called Nigeria. A lot. And every single department of these workers are suffering. Even those ones that are not workers, that establish their own business around this company, they are suffering because a bunch of the workers are getting food from them creditly or getting the service from them on pay, credit. So it means it's affecting them too. But we pray for new incoming administrative that God should help them, guide them, give them strength, give them the ability to be able to move this company forward so that the workers, the people inside this Nigerian LLC can feel a little bit better so that their pain can be relieved. It's not going to happen overnight, but gradually we wish that the pain is going to be relieved. A lot of people going through a lot inside this Nigerian LLC. God guide this new administrative. A new chapter is going to start happening from tomorrow. What kind of chapter it's going to be, nobody knows. It's going to be good chapter, bad chapter, we don't know. But we pray to God to let it be a good chapter for all Nigerians that is inside this Nigerian LLC. Before I go today, like I always telling you, this program is an opinion program. We invite every one of you who feel like want to join the program live. You might have 1, 2, or 3 things to say or share on your own opinion. You are free to come. Join this program. Send us the message. We're going to invite you. You can come live and share your own opinion. Like I said, everything we say on this program is not a fact. It's just an opinion. And the opinion doesn't make it a fact. Or is only the court of law can make things a fact. At the same time, every single one of us have right to our own opinion. So it means you have right to your own opinion. You can share it to us. You can let us know. If you like to join us, just send me a message. You can send me a WhatsApp. The number is right there. +1 817 677 8210. That is the WhatsApp number. You can send us WhatsApp message. Make your own comments. It doesn't matter. Share your own opinion. Your opinion don't really necessary to align with my opinion. Mine don't really necessary to align with yours. But it's still your own opinion. And we both have rights to it. Probably we can meet in the common ground. You can follow the page on Facebook, 360 Opinion. If you want to watch it on YouTube, can rewatch this video on YouTube, 360 Opinion. You can go on Instagram, 360.opinion, to watch it. Like I said, on this program, we thank every one of you that have been watching us, both on YouTube and Facebook. And for those of you that sending me a message or DM me, I thank you. You just share your own opinion. It doesn't matter. I know some of you always send me, why did I call it Nigerian a complaint? Call it a Nigerian LLC, because it's a Nigerian LLC, because it's a complaint. You might not understand. My opinion on that might not be yours. But to my own opinion, Nigeria is not a nation, but it's just a complaint owned by the group of people, some shareholder. You might even be the part of their shareholder one of the days. Nobody knows. You might end up to be a governor one day, or chairman, or senator, or honorable. Once you become that too, you become part of the shareholder. So it means you have access to the national cake too. You go home with a big check. But the people inside in Nigeria, the people inside the company working in that factory, they don't go home with that big check. To go home with a big check in that company, you have to buy the share. You have to be the part of the shareholder. So because of this, you might not like what I say when I say Nigeria is a Nigerian LLC. Not a nation, but a company owned by some group of people. That's my opinion. It might be different to yours. Just come online and tell us your own opinion. That's what this program for. I thank every one of you that's watching me tonight. I might come back to the live program later in the day, and we keep talking about our company called Nigerian LLC. We are part of it. We can't stop talking about it because it's affecting every single one of us, regardless of who is ruling us or who is going to be about to ruling us, regardless of what their supporters say or regardless of their propaganda. We will keep talking about it because that is how we can get a better thing to be done inside that company called Nigeria LLC. If we keep mute, if we don't talk about it, anything can happen. So because of this, let's keep talking about it and let's keep praying for the people that's going to be the driver of that company from tomorrow on. Regardless of the outcome of the judiciary, somebody's still going to start driving that car from tomorrow on. Even if the judiciary is going to do something good or bad or whatever, it's going to be the outcome, which I don't believe in it. I don't believe something good is going to come out of it, in my opinion. But whatever is going to be the outcome of the Judiciathief, somebody still needs to start driving that Nigerian LLC forward from tomorrow on. So whoever take the driver's seat, we need to pray for God to protect that person, guide that person to be able to drive us good, so that we all don't get accidents. Because if the driver is not good, if you fall asleep, we all gonna suffer for the injury or the accident that might happen. We are all in it together. Before I go, I will say thank you to the people of Iwo Descendants for their program that is coming in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. The last one happened in the Atlanta, Georgia last year. This one is coming to the Dallas, Texas. So for that time, we want to say thank you to you, and I'll be right back.
ẹ̀yin ọmọ bíbí ìlú Ìwó, Olúpọ̀nà, Ilé Ògbóùta, Ọ̀gbàgbà àti agbègbè rẹ̀, ẹ̀yin dà, ọmọ Odò Ọba àti agbègbè rẹ̀, lórílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà ẹ súnmọ́ bí, ọmọ ìlú Odídẹrẹ́ àti àyíká rẹ̀, ní Canada ẹ pọ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀, Ìwó Land Descendant Association Incorporation ló ń pè yín síbi àpérò àpèjẹ ìfarakínra tún ìríra ẹni yọ̀ tá a pè ní Dallas Texas Convention 2023 ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì irú ẹ̀ second annual convention lórílẹ̀-èdè Amẹ́ríkà àti Canada lọ́jọ́ kọkàndínlọ́gbọ̀n oṣù Agẹmọ ọdún 2023 29 July 2023 ní Victoria Grace Event Center 2405 North Highway 360 Suite 2508 Grand Prairie Texas 75050 ẹ̀túyáyá kájọ péjú síbi àpérò ọdún yìí. Díẹ̀ nínú ètò tá a pèyàmọ́ ni ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ìpàdé ọmọ ìlú, ọ̀rọ̀ wúrí, ìfarakínra, ìjó, orin, wẹ̀jẹwẹ̀mu, ọ̀wẹ́kẹ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nínú àwọn èèkàn ọjọ́ náà ni Ẹ̀dà Àbí Káyọ̀dé Rahman, President Ìwó Land Descendant.
All right, my people, I thank you all for today. I don't want this program too long. We've been on this live for almost 1.5 hours now. So I'm going to come back to live program later in the day, and then we can talk more about our country. If you like to join us, just follow my Facebook page. Please share it. If you like my program, you don't like it, just share it. Okay, we might share different opinions. We might meet in the common ground one day. But before then, I say thank you all for watching me. Have a wonderful day.